This is mental wellness in the modern world. Our mission is to connect biblical and psychological principles to better understand ourselves and the world around us. In a time when chaos is loud and pressure feels constant, peace isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Mental wellness isn't just about surviving, it's about finding clarity, strength, and meaning in the everyday. This is where honest conversations happen, where healing meets truth, and where you're reminded that you're not alone. Hi, I'm Eleni Lobene with Benison Kingdom Network, and this is Mental Wellness in the Modern World. I've got good news and bad news for you today. Have you ever heard of a term called hedonistic adaptation? It's a psychology term, and it's meant to describe what happens psychologically when something significantly good or bad happens to us with regard to our happiness. Okay? So, what's interesting is that researchers have found that when something really good happens to us, like we get a promotion at work, we have a new relationship, we have literally any major life change, maybe get a new house, whatever it might be, right? If you have a goal and you meet that goal, you get happier maybe for a brief period of time, but then we adapt to it. And our brains basically just get comfortable with whatever this new exciting state is. And we return to our base level of happiness that we just typically experience as we exist in the world. Same thing happens with negative situations. So, say something really terrible happens, you basically will eventually return to your base level of happiness. You'll adapt to your circumstances. Now, like I said, this is good news and bad news, right? So this means okay, so something really bad can happen to you, and you will eventually, according to this theory, be able to recover and feel maybe your normal state of happiness again. But the bad news is that basically this theory also says that no matter what you're doing in your life, no matter how good things get, you're never going to actually be happier. Now, this theory explains why when you get the new pair of shoes, when you get the new job, when you get the raise, whatever it might be that you've been wanting, right? Once you get there, you're not going to just suddenly be happy forever. You eventually just return back to your normal state. And then you just need another pump of excitement to feel that state of happiness again that you had when you were really excited at first. So, what the heck do we do? Psychologists don't really have an answer for this, but the Bible does have an answer. Basically, God is saying, stop pursuing happiness. I mean, there's places in the Bible where he's basically saying, joy is the answer. And where does joy come from? Joy comes from God. It is independent of our circumstances. That's why the Bible says, those who look to the Lord will be radiant. They will not be ashamed. Our hope, joy, satisfaction, contentedness comes from having a relationship with God where we trust that God is in control of our lives, where we derive joy and happiness from what he's done for us, the sacrifices that God has made for us that are completely outside of our control, that were done well before we existed or were made, but we get to benefit from God's existence and his creation of us and everything he's given us. And so when we have this focus, this shift, this focus on the gratitude of what God's done for us and derive our joy from what he has done for us, how he sees us, when we see God the way he sees us, which is beautiful and loved unconditionally, that's when we can experience this deep joy, this stable joy that is not vulnerable to the fluctuations of our circumstances and our happiness. Hedonistic adaptation is a realistic psychological experience, but God knows that, and that's why he gave us joy through him. I'm Eleni Lobene with Benison Kingdom Network, and this is Mental Wellness in the Modern World. I hope you'll spend some time this week thinking about how you can feel satisfied, content, in a higher state of joy based on your relationship with God.